Welcome to the Scopus Research Hub. Okay, let's talk about the literature review. That one section that causes so much stress for so many researchers. And it's true. It's the number one reason papers get rejected before a reviewer even sees them. But that is not going to be your story. Because by the end of this explainer, you're going to have a powerful, step-by-step process to write a review that makes editors sit up and take notice. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to define exactly what that Scopus level standard really looks like. Then, we'll walk through a core 4-step writing process that you can rely on every time. From there, I'll show you how to completely supercharge that process with a really smart AI workflow. And finally, we'll finish up with the secrets, the sins, and the art of synthesis that truly separates the pros from the amateurs. Let's get into it.
Okay, section 1. Look, to get published, you have to know what the gatekeepers are looking for. It's that simple. So let's get laser focused on what top-tier journal editors actually want to see when they open your manuscript.
So why does so much incredible research get stopped at the very first hurdle? This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the truth is, it often has nothing to do with the quality of the research itself, but a perceived weakness in one critical foundational part of the paper. And here it is. The data is absolutely clear on this. The literature review is the make or break section. If it's just a flat, descriptive summary, if it's using outdated sources, and this is the real knockout blow, if it fails to pinpoint a clear, compelling research gap, it is the fastest ticket to a desk rejection.
Now, what's brilliant about this is how it cuts through all the noise. You can forget that feeling that you have to summarize every paper ever written on the topic. Editors are looking for these 4 things, and that's it. A sharp critical argument, not a book report. A crystal clear gap that your study is perfectly built to fill. A really strategic mix of new and foundational sources. And a coherent structure that logically leads the reader right to your research question.
Let's move to our second section. So now that we know the target, let's build the machine to hit it. We're going to break down the reliable step-by-step workflow for crafting a review that checks every single one of those boxes we just talked about. This isn't about hoping for inspiration. It's about having a repeatable system. You start by systematically finding the right papers. Then you organize them like a pro. Next comes the most important part. You read to critique and extract, not just to summarize. And finally, you channel all of that hard work to declare the gap with absolute confidence. This is your roadmap from a blank page to a powerful argument. And this donut chart brilliantly illustrates a key piece of that fine step. This isn't just about random percentages. It's about signaling credibility. Grounding about 60% of your review in those classic, seminal works shows the editor you know the history of the field. Then dedicating the other 40% to recent work from just the last few years proves you're engaged in the current cutting-edge conversation. It's the perfect balance. So, how do you actually make sure your writing is critical and not just descriptive? Well, here's a secret weapon: the peer paragraph structure. I'm telling you, this simple framework is an absolute game changer for ensuring every single paragraph you write pushes your argument forward. It's just such a beautiful logical flow, isn't it? You lead with a strong point. You back it up with evidence. And notice we're clustering citations here to show synthesis. Then comes the crucial move. You explain the so what, the analysis, and you finish by linking it all back to your main argument, creating this unbreakable chain of logic throughout your review. So the crucial thing to remember is to think of your literature review as a precision-engineered funnel. You're not just presenting information, you're guiding the reader. You skillfully converge the key themes, you highlight the tensions and contradictions in the literature, and then, right at the focal point, you explicitly declare the gap that your study was designed to fill. It's a masterful piece of argumentation. Oh, okay. Now for the part that honestly feels a bit like a superpower, let's see how we can take that solid foundational process we just built and inject it with the speed and insight of AI. This is all about amplifying your intellect, not replacing it. Just look at this comparison. It's a night and day difference. The old way of tedious manual keyword searching is just over. AI tools like Elicit can surface the most relevant papers in seconds, and these amazing platforms like Litmaps and Connected Papers let you literally see the conversation, visualizing citation networks to uncover connections you would have never, ever found otherwise. But listen, with this new power comes a new responsibility. Your academic integrity is everything, so please think of these as the unbreakable rules of AI engagement. You must always verify what the AI tells you against the actual source PDF.
Never, ever let AI write for you. Be vigilant against those hallucinated references that just don't exist. And always know the specific AI policies of your university and your target journal.
All right, let's move into our final section where we separate the good from the truly great. We are pulling back the curtain now on the secrets, the sins, and the art of synthesis that will elevate your review to a whole new level of mastery.
These are the moves that signal true command of the literature. Instead of a laundry list, cluster your citations to showcase synthesis. Don't shy away from conflicting evidence. Actively use it to build a more nuanced and convincing argument. Editors absolutely love that. And wrap up each thematic section with a mini conclusion that acts as a signpost, guiding your reader one step closer to your final point.
And on the flip side, these are the tripwires you absolutely have to avoid. A descriptive summary with no argumentative core, cherry-picking data and ignoring studies that conflict with your view, leaving a research gap vague or just implied, and, of course, an over-reliance on AI that leaves your writing feeling a bit soulless. These are the fastest ways to land in the rejection pile. This table is your template for staying critical and on task with every single paper you discuss. It's a simple but incredibly powerful discipline. You state what they did and what they found, sure, but you immediately pivot to the limitation or contradiction. Then you explicitly connect it to your theme and show precisely how it reinforces the need for your study. It forces you to be analytical, not just descriptive. And because we want you to get started with some real momentum, here's a powerful, ready-to-use opening frame that you can adapt. Using a sentence like this immediately signals authority and purpose. From the very first line, the editor knows they're in the hands of a confident researcher who knows exactly how to build an argument. You know, in the end, every single word you write is in service of this one powerful question. Answering it with clarity, with confidence, and with compelling evidence is the entire goal of a Scopus-level literature review. Stay tuned. In the coming days, we'll be releasing more short videos packed with insider secrets and hidden tips on how to prepare your research for publication in Scopus-indexed journals.